No, they're not.
One, two, three, four. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Welcome to Dominico Field. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Kitchener Panthers tonight. Thomas West alongside Zach Benoit, and the Toronto Maple Leafs seem to run into a hot team over almost every single time they're playing. Kitchener Panthers on an extended win streak, coming off a win against the London Majors here on Sunday afternoon. They were on a win streak as well, and Zach, the Maple Leafs just can't stay out of the hot hand.
Yeah, it just seems, they're just getting the unfortunate short end of the stick right now with all the teams they're facing. You said it best. Kitchener on a 5-game win streak, and they're sitting third right now in the Intercounty Baseball League, only behind the Welland Jackfish and the Barrie Baycats.
Sam Green on the mound for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and his task is tough against one of the best, maybe the best offensive team, as this one's hit on the ground to Dan Mara. Flip over to first, one away. Sam Green seems to be the guy that the Toronto Maple Leafs turn to whenever the going gets tough. A tough offensive team has had a couple starts against the Welland Jackfish, started against the London Majors earlier on in the season, and this will be a tough test here tonight.
For sure, and started 6 games. He's appeared in 7. By far leads the team in innings pitched with 31 2/3. But one thing that I'm really liking that I'm seeing from Sam Green is that strikeout to walk ratio. Almost striking out 2 batters to 1 walk. He's sitting at 30 strikeouts on the year with 14 walks.
This one's crushed down the right field line, but it's going to hook foul. Ryan Dos Santos giving it a look. Andy Leader at the plate for the Kitchener Panthers, and he takes a strike. Now 0-2 on Andy Leader, playing center field this afternoon. Elliott Curtis with huge power numbers this season on deck for the Kitchener Panthers. Green's pitch. This one's lined in the air to center field. Coming over and making the catch is Connor Lewis. The defense for the Toronto Maple Leafs lines up as follows. Aiden McCaskey is in left field. Connor Lewis controlling center. Ryan Dos Santos gets the start in right field. John Salazzo is at third base. Jose Vinicio starting at shortstop. Dan Mara at second. Jordan Castaldo at first. Justin Mara behind the plate, catching Sam Green.
And you brought up his name, Elliott Curtis. Currently is hitting almost 400, just under 393 on the year. Second on the team in home runs with 5, and second on the team with RBIs with 21. You're gonna watch that one and down in the dirt. And this has definitely been a team that has been very, very good offensively. The team batting average sitting at a whopping 326 on the year, and they've hit 32 home runs as a total.
This one's hit on the ground, and it gets through the legs of the sure-handed Jose Vinicio. May have took a bad hop. And the Kitchener Panthers have a runner on with 2 away.
And not something we typically see out of Jose Vinicio there at shortstop. Usually a sure-fired defender. But, you know, everyone makes mistakes. It happens.
Jose Vinicio doesn't make a lot of them.
Exactly. So when they happen, it's very, very rare.
Raul Gonzalez, another guy with huge power numbers, hitting well over 400 this season in the Intercounty Baseball League.
And Gonzalez actually leading the team with 34 RBIs and second with 7 home runs.
You know who else he's leading? The Intercounty Baseball League in that department. Well, John Salazzo, though, is breathing down his neck. This one's hit on the ground. Dan Mara fields it. He'll throw to first, and the inning is over. 0-0, and the bats for the Toronto Maple Leafs coming up. Joined now by Justin Mara from the Toronto. Welcome back to Toronto Maple Leafs Baseball on YouTube. Jose Vinicio leading things off here at Dominico Field, followed by Justin Mara. Jose Vinicio lines one on a hop to shortstop, bobbled, throw to first, not even close to being in time. Jose Vinicio is aboard on what will probably be charged as an error on the shortstop Tyler Henriquez. Well, I'll tell you what. The Toronto Maple Leafs are a fantastic offensive team, but there has not been a lot of teams that have been able to produce offense against the guy that's on the mound. Christian Hawk coming into this start with an ERA of 2.85 and a 4-0 record in 5 games this season.
Yeah, truly, he's looked phenomenal with that sub-3 ERA. And then you just got to look at the strikeout to walk ratio he has, 27-9. He's really doing a good job getting these hitters to go down.
Jose Vinicio is hung up at first base, and oh my goodness, Jose Vinicio just made a tricky play over there at first base and somehow got back safely.
And that's just very, very lucky if you're Vinicio. He was trying to take off, steal second. Guess he got his cleats hung up somewhere on the dirt there, fell down, and barely makes it back to first base.
I'm not sure how Jose Vinicio did that. That was the baseball equivalent of the no move by Jose Vinicio on the breakaway against the first baseman. I think Jose Vinicio might have just been in the blind spot there.
And you look at this team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and their base running. Jose Vinicio leading the squad, 11 stolen bases, so constantly a threat. When he's on the base paths, you got to be aware if you're the pitcher or the catcher. And he was about to make his presence known early on, if not for the ground coming up too quick on him.
Pickoff attempt, diving back is Jose Vinicio. One way outside, ball 4. Christian Hawk has allowed the first 2 base runners to reach, although the first one wasn't his fault. Christian Hawk coming into the start with an opponent's batting average of just .248, which that's not a bad number in Major League Baseball, but this is the Intercounty Baseball League. And this is a team, and there's many teams in the IBL that have been hanging around the 300 mark in terms of team average. So Christian Hawk has done a very good job of that, allowed just under a hit per inning pitch that he has this season.
And you talked about it, teams hitting well. I noted it in the top half of the first, how well this Kitchener Panthers team is doing with the team batting average. You look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're not that far behind, sitting at 318 total. A lot of good hitters on this team, and really, you think it might be a slugfest.
Junior Ibarra behind the plate for Kitchener Panthers today. Jose Vinicio was not running on Ibarra, and he probably should have been picked off at first. He's got a great arm behind the plate for Kitchener. Christian Hawks 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut there from Jordan Castaldo. Castaldo has 14 RBIs on the season for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Batting .271. Got his first home run of the season last week. One-two. Runners going, and now they retreat. Doesn't matter, the ball's fouled off by Castaldo.
It looked like they were going. Justin Marr on first was taken off fully, but Vinicio took the first couple steps and then just immediately stopped. And I think that if Castaldo didn't hit that ball, it could have been a little bit of an issue on the base pass right there.
Maple Leafs threatening in the first. Castaldo fouls it back.
And this is just a typical Jordan Castaldo at bat that we're seeing right here on the year right now. Leads the team with 19 walks. Does a good job working the counts, making the pitchers, extend their pitch counts, but somehow always is able to just get on base. Does a phenomenal job.
1-2 once more. Inside, 2-2. Good eye there by Jordan Castaldo. So last game, Jordan Castaldo had a big hit because it moved him from 7th to 6th all-time in the Intercounty Baseball League hit category, passing Randy Curran. Jordan Castaldo has 612 hits in the Intercounty Baseball League.
Very impressive indeed out of Mr. Castaldo right there.
Should say 7th all-time. 6th, though, is very close. 6th is 617. So Jordan Castaldo inching closer to that. He would need a heck of a day today to get it, but he will certainly pass that this season. Swing and a miss by Castaldo. Christian Hawk got him, one away. This is exactly the guy the Toronto Maple Leafs want up to the plate with runners in scoring position. Garrett Takamatsu hitting .458, and this is actually a low point in his batting average this season. Garrett Takamatsu, former Intercounty Baseball League MVP, former Rookie of the Year. Vinicio dives back, throw gets into center field. Jose Vinicio is going to take off for third, and he's in there. It looked like there may have been a play there at third base, and the Kitchener Panthers are starting to throw the ball around a little bit on the infield, and Vinicio takes advantage, but I don't think he would have needed the extra 90 feet to score on a base hit anyway. It's
a big 90 feet to say the least. Now, really, anything on the ground or, softly hit to the outfield, that's probably scoring a run with Vinicio's speed at third, and that's just a very good job out of the leadoff man. Doing his job, getting on base, and just causing havoc for the pitcher, Christian Hawk.
Takamatsu takes outside, ball one. Garrett Takamatsu blasted a 3-run home run in his last game. That was part of a 11-5 win for the Toronto Maple Leafs over the London Majors. They broke a 4-game losing streak and now trying to extend the streak as Takamatsu takes one for a strike.
And you said it best, hitting .458. Granted, it has only been 6 games, but still, that average is very, very high up. He is doing a great job getting on base and just dominating some of the pitching here in the IBL.
Takamatsu hits one on the ground. That one's going to get through and produce the first run of the ball game. Jose Vinicio scores, and Takamatsu has given the Maple Leafs a 1-0 lead.
And a great swing right there to the cleanup man. Looked like that pitch was just kind of on that lower outside half. He shortens up the swing and just pokes it softly right through that hole on the right side to score the first run, and the Leafs take that early lead.
Well, the only time that Christian Hawk hasn't gotten a win, and one of his starts this season was a game where the only game that he let up a run in the first inning. Not that that means anything in the grand scheme of this game. These are the two best offensive teams in the Intercounty Baseball League. So this could be a slugfest here at Dominico Field. That one slugged, but way foul by John Salazzo, and it had a ton of distance, but foul.
Yeah, we know how well John Salazzo has been hitting this year. I mean, you kind of got a little bit of a close-up angle on batting practice, and something I was able to kind of see with Salazzo's swing is just how really easygoing it is. He has so much power that really he just has to flick the wrists, and that ball's sailing off the bat.
How did we get a close-up look of John Salazzo in batting practice, Zach?
Well, you'd have to stay tuned on the
sir.
On the Leafs YouTube. You need to stay tuned for that one.
Garrett Takamatsu was wearing a mic, and even though John Salazzo, it wasn't his turn to wear the mic, he still appears. Yep. He appears. Yep. He's around. One of the vocal guys.
I had a chance at making 3 defensive plays in and around the field, and I went 1 for 3. But hey, it's a .333 batting average, so we'll take that.
Garrett Takamatsu did a fantastic job on the mic today, and I actually asked John Salazzo for some advice on who is the second most charismatic guy on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Garrett Takamatsu was on the list. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to third, and they got him. Justin Mara is gunned at third base by Ibarra, and it had to be a perfect throw, and it was. The Toronto Maple Leafs get 1 in the inning. They lead 1-0 over the Kitchener Panthers. We'll be right back. Sam Green out for his second inning of work. First pitch is fouled off. At the plate for the Kitchener Panthers, Eric Martin. Martin hitting .261 on the season. One of just 2 batters in the Kitchener Panthers lineup that isn't hitting well over 300 this year. The guy behind him is Marcel Lacasse, the first baseman. He's hitting .321. And Tyler Henricus, the shortstop, hitting .364. 1-1. This one smashed out to left field, but it's going to hang up. And the catch is made by Aiden McCaskey, back in the lineup for the Toronto Maple Leafs, making his return last week. Also getting his first home run of the season against the London Majors. And at the time, it extended the lead to 7-1 and kind of put the game away for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hit it to opposite field in about the same place where he's standing right now out there in left.
And it's good to see him back out there in left field, obviously, earlier on in the season, taking that wicked bounce off the dirt into the face.
Yep.
So it's good to see him back on the field for the Maple Leafs.
Marcel Lacasse takes a strike.
And you talked about all these Kitchener Panther batters just having averages well over 300. Well, you look at the run differential on the year. No other team in the IBL has scored over 200 runs. The Kitchener Panthers are alone on that one, as that's ripped into right field.
Marcel Lacasse is digging for 2. Throw to second is cut off and relayed to Jose Vinicio. Dan Mara had it offline and was going to have to make a Jeter-like play to try and get that out at second base.
He gave it his best shot. Couldn't get there in time. And that just shows why this Kitchener Panthers team is so deep with offense. They are very, very good this year. They had their number 6 hitter right there, ripping the double after the flyout.
Marcel Lacasse was traded from the Barrie Baycats earlier this season. This one's outside. I believe that's his first hit. No, it's not. Kitchener Panthers. 1-0. Big swing and a miss. Looking at my stats backwards there. If you want the number, it's his 10th with the Kitchener Panthers. This one's hit in the air. It's going to send Aiden McCaskey right to the wall, and it's gone. The Kitchener Panthers take the lead. Tyler Henricus gets his first of the year, and it's 2-1.
That offense striking once again. Henricus, the shortstop, sailing it over that left field wall.
That ball did not get out of the park by much. Had Aiden McCaskey's glove had about 6 inches on it, probably would have stayed in the yard. Dominico Field giveth and taketh away from the Toronto Maple Leafs, but that ball was hit sky high.
And one thing that we can feel up here by our broadcast ends, there is a very stiff breeze going from right field to left field. So once that ball gets up there, it can carry over the fence, and we just saw it.
Sam Green the look in here at Junior Ibarra. 2-0. Hit on the ground. Bobbled momentarily by Dan Mara. He recovers nicely to get the out. 2 away. So this is something we've seen quite a bit from Sam Green, giving up runs in the first or second inning, but in almost every single one of his starts this year, he's done a really good job settling down. So we'll see if the same is true here for Sam Green tonight.
And really, looking at all of his outings that he's had on the year, he's been in that range of that 1 to 2 runs given up, but obviously the 2 games, one against Barrie and then one against Welland, where things kind of unraveled for him. Other than that, he's been very, very consistent. Maybe one of the most consistent arms in that Maple Leafs rotation.
This should get Sam Green out of the inning. It's popped up, and the catch is made by Ryan Dos Santos to retire Jet Jarvis. The Kitchener Panthers take the lead in the top of the second as we head to the bottom half, 2-1 Kitchener. Joined now by Justin Mara from the Toronto Maple Leafs. Justin, a big win for you guys tonight. You're the only team to beat the Kitchener Panthers. What can you say about this squad?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're really deep this year, and I know it's still early in the season, so we're all trying to feel each other, like see the teams in the league. And I know Kitchener's got a really good ball club, but we knew this game was for first place. Even though it's early, we were ready to play for sure.
You got a solo home run. That's Aiden McCaskey leading things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He saw a ball sail over his head from Tyler Henriquez, the shortstop, and that's what's given the Kitchener Panthers the 2-1 lead. Henriquez pulling that ball to left field. Last time Aiden McCaskey was at the plate here at Dominico Field, he hit a home run in the exact same spot to left, going the other way against the London Majors. First pitch is well outside.
And McCaskey sporting a .231 batting average. He's only appeared in 5 games. Obviously, it was due to the injury he sustained earlier in the season. But like you said, has that 1 home run. And he's looking to try to maybe recreate that again here today.
Aiden McCaskey, Dan Mara, then Connor Lewis. McCaskey pops it up. This one looks like it's going to hook out of play down the left field line, well onto the hill at Dominico Field. Yeah, Aiden McCaskey's only had 13 at-bats in his IBL season. Started out the year having a pretty good run deep into the playoffs with his team in Chattanooga. And then McCaskey joining the Toronto Maple Leafs only to get injured, and then finally back here and hoping to get some consistent playing time as he reaches base. Another leadoff guy reaching against Christian Hack, and that's going to bring Dan Mara to the plate. Dan Mara hitting .383. He was off to a hot start, and he just won't cool off as this season goes on.
And to have that kind of batter in the lower half of your lineup for this Maple Leafs team is huge, because you're able to just kind of have that one relay where you can flip the order and you know you have someone on base with Dan Mara.
Mara takes outside.
And again, what I'm liking from these Maple Leafs hitters is that they're working the counts in their favor. 2 walks already on the night, and really Jordan Castaldo, he battled back from an 0-2 count to back to full, 1 pitch away from getting on base. They're doing a really good job just kind of working at Christian Hawk.
Another pitch outside. The Maple Leafs refusing to swing. Christian Hawk has just delivered the one strike in the inning. Dan Mara fouls it off, and he's brought the count level at 2-2.
Now, Mr. West, me being away for a little bit like I was, I
Yeah.
come back,
Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you. Missed it a lot. And I come back and I was walking down the side of the hill. I'm like, something looks different. They cut some of the grass on the side of the hill. It's looking.
Did you notice
It's
that?
looking pretty.
Yeah. The groundskeepers were hard at work.
Doing a phenomenal job.
It's nice. You can fit more people on the hill.
For sure.
Great crowd at the game tonight. This one's hit to center field, but not particularly deep. Eric Martin is under it. He makes the catch. There's one away. Speaking of lineups that have a lot of hitters that are hitting over 300 in it, the Toronto Maple Leafs have 2 hitters in their lineup that are hitting under 300. Aiden McCaskey is at 231, but he's only had 13 at-bats. And Jordan Castaldo is the other one hitting 268. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if Jordan Castaldo has had a season in the IBL that he's hit under 290. I think there's a pretty good chance that that batting average is going to continue to climb as the season goes on.
For sure. Castaldo, it was a really weird beginning of the year for him.
Ground ball, this could be 2. To second for 1, on to first, and plenty of time. Connor Lewis hit that ball with just enough sharpness to be an easy turn for Raul Gonzalez at third base. And the Toronto Maple Leafs continue to trail 2-1. The Kitchener Panthers trying to tack on in the top of the third. Kitchener Panthers. Blake Jacklin steps to the plate, looking to bunt, and that's something that he can do. Blake Jacklin, the leader in the Inter-County Baseball League in stolen bases. 13 on the year. Takes outside.
And really, when you look at this matchup between the Leafs and the Panthers, both teams are kind of constructed in a similar way. They're leadoff hitters. They do a good job getting on base, stealing bases.
Center field, Connor Lewis in his tracks, and then he has to move in. That was a sinking line drive off the bat of Blake Jacklin, one away.
And a good job right there by Connor Lewis to kind of read that ball. Came out there pretty fast on a line by Jacklin. But like I was just saying, these two lineups are very, very well constructed for just offense, pure power and good offense for the Maple Leafs and for the Kitchener Panthers.
Andy Leader at the plate. Blake Jacklin is joined by Matteo Porcelato of the Welland Jackfish for the stolen base lead. They each have 13. Then Jose Vinicio and Gianfranco Morello of the Welland Jackfish are tied for second. They have 11. This is a head-to-head matchup today of two of the best base stealers in the IBL and two of the best home run hitters, actually four of the best home run hitters. Liam Wilson of the Kitchener Panthers and John Salazzo tied for first place with 8 home runs. And then in second, it's Justin Mara and Raul Gonzalez who have 7.
And like I said, just a matchup of pure power between these two teams.
Liam Wilson, though, not in the lineup for the Kitchener Panthers. That's a big power threat.
That one doinked off one of the light posts.
And you know what? I think that hit right on the light fixture there. And you're probably wondering, why did the bulb not smash? I'm pretty sure that bulb got smashed like 2 weeks ago. It was a mess. There was a foul ball. This was a blowout game. The Toronto Maple Leafs, who was it against? This one's hitting the air. This might hang up for Jordan Castaldo. He reaches over the fence, but it's just past his outstretched arm. I think it was against the Barrie Baycats, and it was right at the end of the game. Yeah, there's a great shot of it. It's that light post right there, and it's the first light that's facing away on the lower row. And it was an absolute blowout game, and I forget who was at the plate, but that light bulb just shattered, and there was just like glass was raining down from the light.
Wow.
It was a mess.
Oh, man. I've only ever seen that happen one other time at a baseball diamond, and it was when I played back my 18U year with the Brampton Royals, where one of the lights got shattered, and it was just a mess for 30, 40 minutes.
Hit on the ground. Vinicio makes the play on a high hop, throws to first to record the out, 2 away. Andy Leader retired. Sam Green has retired the 1 and 2 hitters in the Panthers lineup.
And something interesting I kind of found out here looking at the standings is the Maple Leafs actually do hold the best home record in the IBL. There's a couple of other teams that have the same amount of wins, but they've lost one more game than the Maple Leafs have. Leafs are 7-3. Then you have a couple teams at 7-4. I believe it's Hamilton Cardinals, and then as well the Welland Jackfish. But Leafs, they do a really good job playing at home, and we talked about some of the unfortunate luck they've been getting with hot teams coming in here to Christie Pitts. They were doing a good job shutting them down.
Elliott Curtis's power numbers have been shut down of late. He had 5 home runs. He was leading the Intercounty Baseball League right off the bat, off to a smoking hot start hitting the home runs. And now is yet to hit a home run in his last 11 games for the Kitchener Panthers. But we know that power is all there. 2-1. Fights it off. It's foul down the left side. Two. Inside. on the ground. Benicio scoops it up. Throws to first in time. Good scoop by Jordan Castaldo. 1-2-3 inning for Sam Green. He gets the top 3 batters in the lineup for the Kitchener Panthers. The bats for the Maple Leafs coming up. They need a run to tie it as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. First pitch is in there for a strike to Ryan Dos Santos. Was hopeful of an at-bat, but then a double play left Ryan Dos Santos stranded in the on-deck circle in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Dos Santos and then back to the top of the order for the Maple Leafs. Benicio, Mara, and Castaldo. Ryan Dos Santos, needless to say, he's trying to get on base.
And he had a really good start to his season. You know, he was right there with Jordan Castaldo and working walks and getting on base for this Maple Leafs team. Took a little bit of break away from baseball for a couple of weeks, came back, and then he's been trying to get back into it. You know, trying to regain that form he was getting there just before he left.
Yeah, Dos Santos hasn't played a ton recently. He's come in to pinch run and had one at-bat against London, which he did get a hit in. Here's a high chopper. Dos Santos can really run, but the play is made. Christian Hawk just hoping that ball would fall as quick as possible so he could make the play to first, and he made a heck of a throw there to get Dos Santos.
And if that had maybe 1 or 2 more seconds of hang time, that's a different call happened over there at first base with the speed of Dos Santos. But nonetheless, Hawk is able to get that and throw it on to first.
Jose Benicio at the plate. Benicio reached on a ground ball to shortstop in his first at-bat, and they did give that a hit, so Benicio is officially 1 for 1. I always think it's interesting to see how the pitcher will throw over to first base when, on the rare occasion that a pitcher does have to field a ball. And Christian Hawk threw over just like he did coming off the mound. He was still standing on the mound. He just changed directions and sidearmed it over there to first base.
Sometimes when you're throwing the ball at pitcher, their mechanics is just, that's what they stick to. Nothing changes.
0-2. Benicio way out in front and hooks it foul. Jose Benicio thrives in the 2-strike counts. He has a great ability to battle at the plate. Christian Hawk now thinking, what pitch can I put Jose Benicio away on when he has 3 to waste? Here's the 0-2. Just missed outside, tried to backdoor a breaking ball. Benicio has bumped his average over the 300 mark, hitting 320 on the year. Here's a little flare on the infield, caught by Henriquez. 2 away. Christian Hawk and Sam Green starting to get in a roll here on the mound, and if this continues, we could be in for a quick one here at Dominico Field.
Never want to jinx it like that, but yeah, it's kind of the opposite of what we were really expecting here. You know, we both knew that these two teams had a good pitcher going today, but the offense kind of outweighed the pitching in a sense. So, to my knowledge, I thought it was going to be a big scoring game, but these pitchers are settling down very, very well, and they're just holding these lineups to the bare minimum.
Here's the 1-1 to Justin Mara. Lines at foul. Justin Mara is going to have to do a little bit of homework because he has 2 new counterparts that have just joined the Toronto Maple Leafs. They made a huge splash with 2 signings of pitchers, which is exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs needed. Dustin Richardson is back with the Toronto Maple Leafs. Richardson, for a time in 2021 and 2022, and before that, before my time here with the Toronto Maple Leafs, he was undoubtedly the best pitcher in the Inter-County Baseball League. If you want a comparison, Davey Mendez of the Welland Jackfish. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We'll have to continue that conversation, but those 2 massive signings for the Toronto Maple Leafs and certainly will help on the pitching side as Sam Green tries to stay strong here in the 4th. Zoom in on the Bushman there with the Vona cam. They love the shout outs.
Yeah, this cam is awesome. This cam is, I've learned about it today, and I've already become a fan of it.
It's huge, right?
Huge.
There they are.
The legends themselves.
There they are. Do we got any
Shout out.
Bushmen watching at home?
Shout out to the Bushmen.
Shout out to the Bushmen. The legends.
Holding down that hill.
All right, back to Sam Green. On the map.
Back to the action on the field.
You know what? If we had a microphone down there, we could just keep that camera rolling all night long.
Some of the chants, you know, we can't fully hear them, but when we do, you see me all the time. I got a good chuckle.
Green ahead 0-2. Now on Gonzalez.
That foul ball scared me because it was over in the direction of my car. Couldn't find any parking far away from here, so found one close and said risk the chances.
Yeah. 2-0. Lined into the outfield on one hop. Past Jose Vinicio. Gonzalez is aboard. Yeah, the Maple Leafs in the press box, they found the soundboard. So they've got a whole bunch of creative new sounds. They got one when there's a hit batter where it just says "ow," and then they've got the car horn that goes off, which I didn't know that they had the soundboard last game, and I just kept hearing a car horn. And I was like, "This is a disaster." Here at Dominico Field, but it was just
that's how they get you. That's good job right there.
Just the PA system. This one's crushed to left. And it's foul. Just foul down the line. It was probably 3 feet foul and about 10 feet from the foul pole down there and left.
And that right there is just courtesy. Again, that wind, it's blowing from right field over to left. So anything that's hitting the air like that is just going to sail. And fortunately for the Leafs, it just kept on sailing foul.
Sam Green has been pounding the strike zone tonight. 32 strikes and just 13 balls, and he's already ahead. 1-0 here on Martin. Eric Martin takes way outside, 1-1. Martin playing at just his 6th game. He has 23 at-bats. Cashed in 6 RBIs, but he struck out 8 times. 1-1. Which is a strike. Eric Martin hit a home run in his first game of the season on June 15th against the Welland Jackfish. Now he hits one hard and just past Raul Gonzalez as he was sprinting to first. Bobbled by Dos Santos momentarily, but he recovers quickly. And the ball bouncing around on the infield right now for the Maple Leafs, but it doesn't cost them. First and second with nobody out. And here's another power threat in Marcel Lacasse.
And this is the scary thing. You know, this Kitchener offense, they have that capability to strike whenever they want to. And right here, they've set themselves up nicely for a big, big inning. And we got to look at Sam Green to see if he can shut it down.
Green's pitch is hit in the air. This one's deep to left field down the line, and that one is gone, but foul. Just foul down the line.
Matter of inches. And again, that little breeze, you can kind of, Sam Green can kind of look at the wind and say, thank you very much for that one.
Sam Green's saying that's 0-1.
All that is a long strike one.
And then Green delivers his slider, or maybe a curveball. It's hard to tell with Sam Green. He has a slider and a curveball and sometimes a slurve. But he says that he kind of just goes with whatever is working. If the slider's working, he'll throw the slider. If it's not working, he'll abandon it.
Yeah, if it works, it works. That's all you got to have as a pitcher.
0-2. This one's hit in the air again, but not as deep as the 0-1 pitch. Catch is made by Aiden McCaskey, one away. Sam Green always has the curveball. His repertoire featured the curveball consistently last season. This year, his project with him and Justin Mara behind the plate was to try and develop the slider, get a little bit more lateral movement on that breaking ball.
And with his season overall, I'd say it's working. I'd say, the addition of that slider has been pretty pivotal for Sam Green and the success that he's had. It's just another movement on his pitches, and he's just so effective on the mound for the Maple Leafs this year.
When the slider's working, it seems like Sam Green is working. That seems to be a key to success for him. But if that's not working, and this is interesting, Yuichi Ishihara is warming up in the bullpen for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that was a breaking ball that slipped out of the hand. Ishihara came in and pitched 1 inning for the Toronto Maple Leafs in a blowout game against the Barrie Bay Cats. And I didn't know whether Yuichi Ishihara was a pitcher or not. I thought this was a position player deal. Snap throw down to second base. It was a good one from Justin Mara, but it's not in time. Runner gets back safely. Ishihara came in and pitched beautifully against the Barrie Bay Cats, and he was throwing extremely hard. So then the next game, I asked Ishihara, I said, "Are you a pitcher?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm a pitcher. I pitch." So that's a tool in the toolbox I'm not sure the Maple Leafs know they had, but let's see. This should be interesting. They found out that Jesse Hodges is in fact not a third baseman, he's a pitcher. He's been a pitcher this whole time, and we didn't know it. Throw down to third in plenty of time. What a throw by Justin Mara. And he has a cannon there from behind the plate, and the runner doesn't advance from first base either on the play. So now 2 outs and just the runner standing over there at first base, Raul Gonzalez.
And that's kind of confusing to me by Raul Gonzalez. You just had the snap throw down to second base, which was a close play and a farther throw. And Mara showed off the cannon there, but he did it again at third base, and that was just money. Fantastic throw.
Strike 3. Sam Green works out of danger. The first 2 batters reach. Green gets a little help from his defense, and it's 2-1 Kitchener Panthers.
So this is with the mic.
Boy, that was an impactful play down there at third base to help Sam Green get out of the inning. Raul Gonzalez looked like he got a pretty good jump. It had to be a good throw from Justin Mara, and it was perfect on the money, and it helps the Maple Leafs get out of the inning.
Yeah, it was a perfect throw, perfect tag again down there by Salazzo. And you said it best. That was probably the turning point of that inning. You get you get a single to lead things off, another base runner to follow that, and then you just sit down the side 1, 2, 3 right after those first 2 hits. So, I mean, hats off right there to Sam Green. That was a fantastic way to kind of keep calm, keep composed, shut things down, and, you know, keep them trailing only by 1 still.
Castaldo takes way inside. 2 pitches after the stolen base, Sam Green finds a perfect release point on the breaking ball and gets the strikeout, and all of a sudden the Maple Leafs were out of the inning. 2-0 on Jordan Castaldo. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike.
It's a very dangerous part of the order coming up for the Maple Leafs. You have Jordan Castaldo, who's really just prone to getting on base, does a phenomenal job. Garrett Takamatsu, who's just been electric since he came back to the Maple Leafs. And then Mr. Steady Eddie himself, John Salazzo, rounding it out. He's in the hole waiting.
I just saw Garrett Takamatsu walking across the frame there. I'm very excited to bring this Garrett Takamatsu mic'd up segment into the YouTube world as well. I think it's going to be some great content as that one's in there for a strike. You can look for that on the Toronto Maple Leafs YouTube channel and Instagram next week at some point.
And as someone who stood, you know, behind Mr. West
Making
while
sure I
he
didn't get hit with a ball.
As the one who stood behind, I a bunch of times heard the slight little chuckles and laughs that you were having. So you already know it's going to be a good video.
I was a long way away from him, but I had his conversation straight into my headphones, and there was some pretty random stuff that I think that people.
It was great to hear, where it was just utter silence, and then you just hear someone start laughing. It was
you have
really
no
good.
context for the situation. 3-2 to Jordan Castaldo. And he fouls it off. Second consecutive foul ball, and he's putting up a battle here against Christian Hawk.
And I think my favorite part of it as well was a couple times you asked me, "Did you hear that?"
Yeah.
As you were wearing the headphones.
yeah, which you obviously did not. Another 3-2. Hit in the air to center field on a line, but it's going to hang up. Eric Martin makes the catch, and that was actually a little bit deceiving off the bat from Jordan Castaldo. I think he caught it off the end of the bat. It sounded good, but didn't have a lot of carry, and that's the first out of the inning. Garrett Takamatsu comes to the plate.
And really, Jordan Castaldo, I think it's safe to say he's been probably one of the most unlucky hitters so far in this Maple Leafs lineup. You look at it early in the season, he was striking out a lot, but it was on a lot of counts that were full counts. You know, it's just one pitch or one call goes his way, and he's getting a base on balls. And then lately he's been having a lot of hard contact that's been flying towards fielders. Just a little bit of unfortunate luck right there from Castaldo.
0-1. Swing and a miss. Garrett Takamatsu was swinging for the fences on those first 2 swings. I was thinking that in my mind with nobody on base. He hit a home run last game. I'll bet you he shortens up and tries to hit the ball the other way here. 0-2 pitch. Shortened up. Chopped it on the infield. Good play by Henriquez to get the out. Takamatsu retired. Garrett Takamatsu seemed to just be a little bit on the wrong foot in that at-bat. He was on the exact opposite page of pitcher Christian Hawk. And
credit to Christian Hawk. Really had that little blunder in the first inning And since then, you know, he's done a phenomenal job. Since actually the Takamatsu RBI single, I believe he sat down the last 9.
I believe you're correct. Yeah, he hasn't allowed anything since.
Yeah, he had a 3-up, 3-down inning in that second, 3-up, 3-down in the third, and he struck out John Salazzo in his last plate appearance.
Garrett Takamatsu's single was his last. That would check out.
And it really shows that the proof of why Christian Hawk has had a really good year so far for the Kitchener Panthers.
2-1. Caught the outside corner, backdoor breaking ball to Jordan Costello, or to John Salazzo. Two-two. On the ground, Salazzo just got a piece of it. Aiden McCaskey on deck, hopeful of an at-bat. John Salazzo's batting average has dropped below 400 for maybe the first or second time this season. He's hitting .391. 8 homers, 27 RBIs. He needs a few to catch up to Gonzalez. High chopper. John Salazzo was hustling to first base, and it's foul. Oh, that was very close.
And we talked about the home run being a matter of inches. That was a matter of inches down at first base. It looked like it might have bounced over the bag from our angle up here. But again, it just took one of those Christie Pitts bounces that we've been so prone to seeing here this year. It was going straight at the first baseman and then just took a wild hop left.
2-2 to John Salazzo. Way outside. Okay, here, let's take a look at it. Watch the ball take this crazy hop here at first base. Look at Salazzo hustling. Here it is. That's a foul ball. That's a great call.
Phenomenal call. Just bounced in front of the base.
Salazzo swings and misses, strike 3. Christian Hawk got him on a fastball. To the 5th we go. It's 2-0 Kitchener.
Encourage them, and they do it through books.
Junior Ibarra is going to lead things off for the Kitchener Panthers, trying to extend their lead. This has been a well-pitched game so far. Sam Green into his 5th inning of work. Ibarra lines one to first. What a catch by John Salazzo.
Oh, man. Climbing the ladder there. They call it the hot corner for a reason.
So this is what's on the way for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dustin Richardson and Evan Elliott. Richardson obviously with the experience in the Boston Red Sox system, but that was a long time ago. He's created his legacy here in the Intercounty Baseball League. Evan Elliott playing in rookie ball this year with the Texas Rangers. This one's foul down the line. Justin Mara making sure that he fielded that little tapper in foul territory. Evan Elliott's a guy that we haven't seen in the Intercounty Baseball League. It'll be really interesting to see what he brings to the table. Very recent professional baseball experience. And anytime you see MLB drafted players, you know that they have some really good stuff. How you doing, John Salazzo? Probably feeling pretty good. Loves his defense.
40.
Left field line. It's foul.
I think he's just throwing right now. Yeah. And yeah, you said it best. Really, the bullpen help is on the way. And the message I got when it happened from you was pure excitement.
Yeah, I texted the group chat instantly. 0-1, breaking ball just outside.
There are a few things I've learned of Mr. Thomas West that can get him that excited, and the signings that happened for this bullpen got him very, very excited.
It just, yeah, like Richardson has had such a good career in the Intercounty Baseball League. That's a big guy down there in the bullpen wearing number 41.
And a lefty, too. Big lefty.
Yeah, that's Dustin Richardson down there in the bullpen. Maybe he comes into this game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'll see. I don't know. He's thrown pretty lightly. It doesn't look like he's getting ready immediately to come into the game. I don't know if Yoichi Ishihara was actually coming into the game either. He's since sat down since he was warming up in the 3rd. Here's the 3-1 from Sam Green. Way inside, and I'm not sure if it hit Jarvis or not. Either way, it goes to the backstop. And that's a base runner here for the Kitchener Panthers. Back to the top of the order now for Kitchener. Blake Jacklin will need an extra base hit to cash in Jarvis over there at first base. He has 11 RBIs on the season. Green with a sharp breaking ball that was in there for a strike.
We've talked about Sam Green and really how impactful he has been for this Maple Leaf squad this year. And, you know, pulled up the league leaders for pitching. And
yeah.
Sam Green actually does sit in the top 6 for wins right now.
Yeah, and 3 on the year for Sam Green, but a win today would put him tied for first, but that's only if Christian Hawk stays off the win sheet, which
he's also up there.
He's only had one start where he hasn't got the win this season. Here's the 1-2 to Jacklin. Runner goes. Throw down to second, a good one, and Jose Vinicio puts the tag on quickly as there's no slide there from Jarvis.
Yeah, it looked like Jarvis thought he would have been perfectly fine there, but
I think that's because Jose Vinicio was acting like he wasn't about to catch a ball. I think Jarvis might have been surprised that the throw was coming down.
And again, just such a fast snap throw from the back catcher, Justin Mara. Has so much power in that arm.
play was a strikeout, so that brings Andy Leader to the plate. 2 away, runner in scoring position. Andy Leader trying to touch some grass here and catch in the 3rd run of the ball game for the Kitchener Panthers. The 1-0 hit on the ground, fielded by Dan Mara. He throws to first. Sam Green is through 5 innings and he's only allowed 2 runs. The Maple Leafs trying to tie things up. They go to the bottom of the 5th. The Bats coming up. We're just watching Dustin Richardson getting warmed up there for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Dustin Richardson, his first 24 outings for the Maple Leafs, which is basically 24 games because he only goes about 1 inning when he comes in. First 24 outings, didn't allow a run.
Wow.
In his IBL career. That was dating back to 2018. First pitch is fouled off by Aiden McCaskey, getting his second at-bat. Plate appearance, walked in his first.
It's a beautiful night here at Christie Pitts. Really was a scorcher with the sun out earlier. Very humid, very hot. But since it's going down, the nice breeze here.
Oh, 2. Well outside. One-two pitches inside, 2-2. Dustin Richardson had maybe his most famous outing in his IBL career, which was in Game 4 of a 5-game series against the London Majors in 2021. Here's the 2-2 to Aiden McCaskey. Hit on the ground to first, but foul. He came in just before extra innings started in a 13-inning ball game here at Dominico Field, and he went 7 innings of relief. He struck out 12, allowed 4 hits, and just faced 26 batters. Didn't walk anyone.
Wow.
And the Maple Leafs, they won the game on a walk-off home run by Sean Raleigh in the 13th. Game took nearly 5 hours. It's almost midnight by the time the game finished. Dustin Richardson was still on the mound.
That's insane.
3-2. Sharply hit up the middle, a base hit for Aiden McCaskey. Maple Leafs have the leadoff man on.
And that's the first base runner in 10 batters for this Maple Leaf squad. And good on Aiden McCaskey for getting that leadoff hit here in the 5th inning. Now, there's only one other game going on in the IBL today. It was the Welland Jackfish taking on the Guelph Royals. And for the most part, it looked like Guelph was going to hold that one. But a big six-run eighth inning by the Welland Jackfish capped off a 9-6 win.
Yeah, that was big. It snapped their 3-game losing streak. It was funny. The Toronto Maple Leafs went on a 4-game losing streak, which with how good the top teams in the Intercounty Baseball League, you'd think that would surely sink the ship on the first place hopes for the Maple Leafs. But guess what? First place wasn't going anywhere because the Maple Leafs and Welland Jackfish were both on the losing streak. So now the Barrie Baycats were temporarily in first place. With that win, I guess the Welland Jackfish will have taken that back, but the Barrie Baycats do have some games in hand on the Jackfish.
Yeah, 2 games in hand to be exact. Jackfish sit 15-6. Baycats are 13-6 on the year. You have Kitchener in third place, Hamilton fourth, and then the Maple Leafs down there at fifth. And the bottom 3 go as followed: the Guelph Royals, London Majors, and then the Brantford Red Sox.
Maple Leafs will not be able to draw level even if they were to win with the Kitchener Panthers. They're 2 games back of third place. Pitch is well outside, but with the Jackfish losing 3 games in a row, that really leveled the playing field for everyone, not just the Toronto Maple Leafs. Now the Barrie Baycats are in the hunt. The Kitchener Panthers, with a win tonight, they would move within a game of first place. And that would make things very interesting.
It's a very, very tight race through 1 to 5 here in the IBL.
3-1 pitch is just over the outside corner to Dan Mara. Full count. Dan Mara has a hole to shoot for on the right side, should he want to. Aiden McCaskey at first base. Doesn't go. The pitch, outside, ball 4. The first 2 base runners have reached for the Maple Leafs, and the first time they've done that since the first inning. Connor Lewis coming to the plate, then Ryan Dos Santos. Do we possibly see a bunt here out of Connor Lewis and Dos Santos?
And really, no outs, 2 runners on, some good speed as well on the base pass. You have McCaskey at second base and then Dan Mara at first. I don't mind that bunt. I can really see Connor Lewis getting the bunt down right here, just advancing those runners. No force at first base. Then you have the number 9 hitter, Dos Santos, who could really kind of turn this game upside down, give the Maple Leafs the favor.
I think they might try their hand with Connor Lewis swinging the bat and then see what happens with Ryan Dos Santos. But
yeah,
we'll see.
Connor Lewis on the year as well. Only appeared in 4 games so far, but batting .357.
He's been really good.
Yeah, 14 at-bats, 5 hits, 2 walks.
Not bunting. First pitch in there for a strike. It was a breaking ball from Christian Hack. First and second for the Maple Leafs, feeling like they might need a run in this inning with the opportunity that they have been presented.
With how Christian Hawk has been pitching, these opportunities don't present themselves an awful lot so far tonight.
He's at 86 pitches. If the Maple Leafs can even just prolong these at-bats, this could be his last inning of work, and then it's off to the bullpen of the Kitchener Panthers, which should be relatively rested.
And these are 2 very big at-bats, Connor Lewis and Dos Santos. If they're able to work anything and flip it to the top of the order, you have some dangerous hitters awaiting.
2-1 is outside, 3-1. Connor Lewis might find himself on first base unless Christian Hawk can get back in the strike zone. In danger of walking 2 consecutive batters. Dos Santos waiting patiently on deck. Here's a big 3-1 pitch. It's over the outside corner for a strike. Not much complaint there from Connor Lewis. And the count is run full. Lewis has some speed. He'll be difficult to double up should there be a soft ground ball, although he has hit into a double play already tonight. Outside, ball 4. It was close, but it just missed, and the bases are loaded.
And a big at-bat coming here for the Maple Leafs.
Dos Santos takes a first pitch strike.
Bases are loaded with no outs. Leafs are only trailing by 1 run.
0-1. Keep in mind that the Kitchener Panthers do have some pitching that should be available out of their bullpen.
And you kind of see a couple arms, the bullpen is getting a little bit more activated down there.
Brady Schnarr has been really good with an ERA in the 1s. And Jordan Bannock has been really good as well. He has an ERA of 2.84 and a player of the week under his belt. It's Adam Robertson warming up in the bullpen right now. They might turn to some of the higher leverage arms should Christian Hawk be able to get out of this inning. 2-1. Chopper at the plate, and it's foul.
So far, good at-bat going right here. And Christian Hawk, I said it early on, he had, coming into tonight, 9 walks. There's only 9 batters he's walked all season. Well, tonight, he's walked 4. So already almost at half of that of his season total has come tonight.
2-2. Strike 3 called. A big strikeout with the bases loaded, and now it's up to Jose Vinicio to try and keep the line rolling for the Maple Leafs. What a job by Christian Hawk to get back in the strike zone. Walked 2 consecutive batters. Now he could make things interesting if the Kitchener Panthers have an opportunity to go home for a force out. Vinicio is even harder to double off. Crushes one, but foul down the right side.
And again, you just have to tip your cap to Christian Hawk, and what he's been able to do tonight was the rocky start. That's how Toronto scored their run, but then really settled down for 3 innings. And again, the Maple Leafs are trying to get to him here, and he's fighting back. He's not going down without the fight.
Adam Robertson had a good outing. He's warming up in the bullpen. He went 2 innings against Barrie. Didn't allow a run. In the dirt to the backstop. This is going to cash in a run for the Toronto Maple Leafs. They've tied it up. Aiden McCaskey scores. It's 2-2.
And not only does McCaskey score, Connor Lewis advances up to second, as well as Dan Mara up to third. So runners still threatening, but now there's no force on the base paths. But a great heads-up read by McCaskey. Once that ball was in the dirt and he saw it get away, he took off. Fantastic read.
No force out and a contact guy at the plate.
Anything soft on the ground here really could score Mara from third. And Vinicio, he has the speed to leg it out at first. Infield will play in for the Panthers.
Vinicio has 2 sac flies this season. And he hits one in the air. It's caught. And Mara is going to hold his ground, although if he had gone home, he would have been safe by a mile. And Jose Vinicio just didn't get under it quite enough.
And that's just so unfortunate from Vinicio. Hammers a ball out there to right field. And Mara, he was actually trickling down the line a little bit. And he wasn't there to tag up. So once that ball was caught, that's when he was running back to tag up. Just unfortunate right there. The Leafs could not capitalize on that.
Had the wild pitch not happened, this would still be a 2-1 Panthers lead, and with 2 outs. Mara chops the first pitch foul. Christian Hawk, after looking wobbly to start the inning, seems like he's settled things down. Justin Mara looking for a clutch base hit to give the Maple Leafs the lead. Castaldo's on deck. 0-1 is right there at the knees for a strike, and it's 0-2. High chopper to first. Bobbled. The throw gets away. 1 run in to score, and it's up on top of the Kitchener Panthers dugout, and a second run scores. And that is costly for Kitchener. It's 4-2 Maple Leafs on a play that should have got them out of the inning. Instead, it clears the bases, and the Leafs have opened up a lead.
And I would like to give a lot of credit to number 9, Justin Mara, hustling out of the box, causing that error. You know, the infielders had to rush a little bit more because they see him barreling down the line, and it leads to the error where the ball goes out of play, 2-run score, and now he is also in scoring position himself.
We'll take a quick break. Adam Robertson's into the game for the Kitchener Panthers. Oh, a huge turn of events here in this one. Bottom of the 5th inning. It looked like the Maple Leafs were going to strand a couple runners on base, maybe even all 3 runners on base. Instead, they end up cashing them all in on an error at first base by Marcel Lacasse, and then a throwing error at second as well. So now it's 4-2 Maple Leafs, and I don't think Elliott Curtis had any business throwing that ball to first, with Justin Mara coming down the line. Hit in the air, not particularly deep. It's going to hang up in center field for Martin, and Adam Robertson needs just 2 pitches to get out of the inning. 4-2 Maple Leafs over the Kitchener Panthers. We head to the 6th. Elliott Curtis is going to lead things off for the Kitchener Panthers. They're going to have a little extra motivation to try and get those runs back for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And for the side of the Maple Leafs, it's only taken 2 mistakes from Christian Hawk, and the Leafs have jumped all over them for their runs. Sam Green, he's made some mistakes, but he's held strong. Really doing a good job here, stepping up when needed to for this Maple Leaf squad.
Yeah, so kind of an interesting scoring note. Christian Hawk has allowed 3 earned runs, and you might be wondering how could that have happened, as this one's chopped on the ground. Venicio's going to have to be quick. He barehands it. He whips to first. He got him. Oh, Jose Venicio. Casually making that play look really easy. Yeah, the reason for the 3 earned runs there is that the error was not on Marcel Lacasse. It was on the throw that allowed the runner that was coming from second to score. That was the 4th run of the game. Bit unlucky maybe there on Christian Hawk's stat line, because he pitched beautifully today.
And you can see the little shot we were getting right there of the dugout. Christian Hawk sitting down there.
Yeah, 101 pitches too through 5 innings. The Maple Leafs really made him work.
And I mentioned it before. He had 4 walks tonight, and on the year he had 9. So he almost, was halfway to his season total in 1 game today. And it just shows how well this Maple Leaf squad is. They're really disciplined, but they also hit for power.
One on Gonzalez. Raul Gonzalez has that batting average at .409. He fouls it off. Raul Gonzalez is kind of a utility player, plays second base, third base, and shortstop. 35 years old, coming out of Cuba.
And a very good utility player, because he also leads the league in RBIs.
Takes low. Yeah, he's playing third base today for the Kitchener Panthers. Raul Gonzalez had kind of unique resume coming in. We see a lot of guys playing in a lot of the independent leagues or in minor league baseball that come in to play in the Intercounty Baseball League, as he just gets a piece of it and fouls it back. Count remains 2-2. But Raul Gonzalez has spent his whole career, and I mean his whole career, from 2005 to 2022 in the Cuban National Series. You don't see a lot of players coming out of that. Hits it to third. What a pick by Salazzo. And what a pick by Castaldo.
The corners working in unison right there. Defense is immaculate this inning by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, man.
Jordan Castaldo says, I'll do you one better.
Just give them all the gold gloves.
Castaldo picked that with some flair over there at first base. We don't talk about Jordan Castaldo's defense a lot. I was actually talking about that with GM Jeff Lounsbury the other day. And one of the things he pointed out right away about Jordan Castaldo, actually I think we were talking about it on the air, so you may have heard about it as well, is that he has been really good defensively at first base. And that goes underrated.
Yeah, you almost have like a different level of confidence if a ball's thrown there and it's in the dirt or too high. Castaldo just, he's finding ways to come up with it and save, possible runs if it goes by or out of play.
Justin Mara and Sam Green, I think, just got crossed up there. Justin Mara lowered his glove at the last second. I don't think he saw that sharp break coming from Sam Green. So the count's 2-1. I don't think I've seen Jordan Castaldo miss a pick at first all season. That one's a strike from Sam Green. It's 2-2. Green is starting to go to the breaking ball a little bit more now.
Well, looking at this infield, Dan Mara, it's your turn to pick a ball or barehand a ball. Everyone else has done it this inning.
Yeah. Oh, it's just inside. Just inside. No perspective from the broadcast booth, but we can see that the entire team shifted towards the dugout.
Everybody, and I mean everybody on that field, took a step towards the dugout.
That was the breaking ball. He's gone to it 3 times in a row. Does he have it on the 3-2 pitch? It's lined into the outfield and down for a base hit. I think it was the breaking ball again there from Sam Green. And Eric Martin might have known it was coming.
Yeah, and how different the outcomes could be, you know. That pitch just misses. And it's a ball, and a base runner gets on the very next one. But if that's called a strike, that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Sam Green.
And Green would have been through 6 innings of work on under 80 pitches.
That's insane.
Marcel Lacasse. Big cut. And he swings and misses at the first pitch.
And this is just a huge outing just for Sam Green in general. You know, we talked about a couple of his outings earlier on in the season, and he's looked really, really good. But in all-around games today, he has looked phenomenal.
Sam Green gets a verbal cue from his infield to step off as runner at first had a huge lead. If Sam Green can get out of this inning, he might pitch another, but if not, it would be turned over to the bullpen, and this would be a great chance for the Maple Leafs to see what they got. Runner goes, throw to second is not even close. Jose Vinicio did all he could to be sly about catching that ball at second base, but that'll go down as a stolen base for Eric Martin. Dustin Richardson, we've seen him up in the bullpen. Evan Elliott has been up in the bullpen for the Maple Leafs. Yuichi Ishihara has been up. Ball hit in the air to center field. Long run for Connor Lewis, and it falls for a base hit. Run comes in to score, and it's 4-3. Sam Green thought he had strike 3 called about 10 pitches ago, and now the Kitchener Panthers have strung together back-to-back hits. And I don't know if that ball was catchable in the outfield, but I know that Connor Lewis definitely misplaced where it was.
It looked like he tried to take a route to it just to throw to second. Not quite sure if he thought, you know, the runner was just out of the box, was going to go 2. But held him to the single. 1 run does score. The Maple Leafs are still leading 4-3. And Green will just kind of look here just to settle down and get out of this inning.
Must be the worst feeling for a pitcher when you think that you've got out of the inning, and then you got to try and find an out. This guy's not easy. Tyler Henriquez has a home run against Sam Green. That came in the 2nd inning. More action in the Toronto Maple Leafs bullpen. Swing and a miss by Henriquez. Lots of action. Dustin Richardson is up. He's walking around, and I think, is that Evan Elliott on the mound? Yes, it is. Oh, there we go. You might not hear the voice of Gus Cousins on the broadcast tonight, but his presence is felt.
He makes sure his presence is known.
All over the graphics game here on the Maple Leafs broadcast.
And you saw the graphic earlier with the attendance today. It was a lot. Thank you, Gus.
And it's growing here at Dominico Field, more and more, dotting the hillside.
And you see it there.
That's the left field line. The right field line has maybe even more. 1-1. On the ground to third. John Salazzo fields it, but he's not going to have a play anywhere. And that's actually, he ended up dropping the baseball. But he kept it on the infield and made sure that another run didn't come in to score. Sam Green, pitch count climbing. He's now over 90 pitches and just trying to get an out, but he's in danger here. There's 2 runners on. The runner at second is the tying run. Junior Ibarra has not had a great start to the year at the plate. He's hitting 167, and he fouls it off. He has 9 hits on the year, but he has 8 RBIs. He's been pretty efficient with his spots, and he has a runner in scoring position right now.
And one thing I just wanted to note on the John Salazzo play right there, I believe the ball hit off of third base.
Oh.
And Salazzo did everything in his power just to knock it down. That's a big 90 feet to hold the runner at second base.
Sam Green has had to throw a lot of pitches this inning. Oh, I didn't catch that at all. Did you catch that, or did Gus tell you?
I caught it. Gus was informing me about something else. And another thing to note, really, just on the season that Sam Green has had, he's pitched into the 6th inning only once, but really he's gone a strong 5 majority of the time. Gone 5 2/3 one time as well, but for the most part, you know, he gives the Maple Leafs a solid 5 innings.
Fouled off again by Ibarra. Now Sam Green has 2 strikes. Ibarra is 0 for 2. He's looking for a single. Sam Green facing adversity. And the top of the 6th. Fouled off again, and it's right off the exact same light that got hit again today. That is just insane. It didn't break anything, though, this time.
Man, that one light is getting a lot of attention the last little bit here. Phenomenal shots.
2-2. Lined foul. And that ball almost hit Evan Elliott on the bullpen mound.
Close call, and you know, with any ballpark you go to, you got to be careful when you're sitting down the lines. That baseball comes down there fast.
Sam Green will do it over again. Trying to hold the lead for the Maple Leafs in the 6th. The 2-2. Up high, full count. The runners will be on the move from 2nd and 1st.
Maybe one of the biggest pitches on the night right here, 3-2 count.
In the air, but I think it's going to be out of play down the right side. Yes, it's foul. It remains a full count.
And the runners, you know, they're just getting the wind sprints in, doing their quick 90 feet.
98 pitches for Sam Green. This will likely be his last inning. He has 1 out to get. The 3-2. In the air to center field, and it's down for a base hit. That'll cash in a run, and the Kitchener Panthers have tied it up. It's 4-4.
And going back to it, how big is that ball call now that Sam Green did not get? I mean, really, all the offense has sparked since that one pitch. And you got to feel, you know, Sam Green, obviously, this is not the outcome he wanted. He wanted to be able to pitch deeper into this game for his team. You said it. He would have been through 6 under 80 pitches. But this Kitchener Panthers team, you know, doing a phenomenal job, just not backing down, not getting away. And they're right back in it.
Chris Nagorski went out. He's the acting pitching coach today. To have a word with Sam Green, but it was a quick word. And Green wants to stay in the ball game. Lined and down for a base hit. The Panthers take the lead, and they're going to get more. It gets by Ryan Dos Santos. He goes all the way to the wall to field it. Runner at third is getting the wave home. Dan Mara, the throw to the plate, in time to get him. Sam Green is livid as he goes back to the dugout and yelling at the home plate umpire about, I assume, the call that was not made about 6 batters ago. The Kitchener Panthers take the lead, but they could have had more had it not been for a good relay and a good tag from the Mara brothers. 5-4 Kitchener Panthers. Garrett Takamatsu is going to lead things off for the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Kitchener Panthers get 3 runs, and they manufactured all of it with 2 outs. Sam Green ends up allowing 5 runs, but he thought he was going to be out of the inning with 81 pitches thrown. Instead, he throws 100, and the Kitchener Panthers get 3 runs. Now the Maple Leafs have some work to do. Yeah, 5 earned runs over 6 innings from Sam Green, but the outing was a lot better than that. It was just the last 3 batters. Pitch a strike to Garrett Takamatsu. And
really, you know, we saw at the end of that inning, Sam Green visibly frustrated. But, you know, one pitch, we always talk about one pitch can change the outcome of a game, as Takamatsu smokes that to the gap.
All the way to the wall. Garrett Takamatsu into second base, standing up. And just like that, the Maple Leafs have life in the bottom of the 6th once again. John Salazzo comes to the plate. "27 RBIs on the year for John Salazzo. And kind of unfortunate for John Salazzo last game. He went 0 for 4 and ended a 15-game hitting streak against the London Majors. He's 0 for 2 today, so this would classify as the biggest slump of the season we've seen for John Salazzo. It would.
0 for his last 6. Wow. And you brought up a really interesting stat on one of his home runs that he hit recently of the hang time.
Yeah, did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
To first, fair ball. John Salazzo is called out. He's 0 for 3 now as that ball just stayed fair at first base. That was a really good play by Marcel Lacasse to come and get that quickly before it went into foul territory.
But
Garrett Takamatsu goes to third.
yeah, heads up base running right there by Takamatsu. You know, whether it was fair or foul, head down, running to third, now 90 feet away.
Aiden McCaskey to the plate. It's a small sample size, but he seems to be hot of late. Evan Elliott looks like he might be ready to go in the bullpen, and we might get a first look at one of the new signings from the Maple Leafs. First pitch to Aiden McCaskey. He fouls it off. And there's a stir now at Christie Pitts. Some excitement brewing with the Maple Leafs threatening the tying run at third base. McCaskey, the 0-1. Right down the middle for a strike. Adam Robertson trying to work around danger, but he's got a little bit of work to do. Aiden McCaskey, then Dan Mara on deck. Takamatsu ready to run at third base. Infield is playing in the dirt. 1-2.
And McCaskey's had a good game at the plate, walked his first time up, hit a single his last at-bat. He later on scored that inning. If he's able to get a ball in the air here, could score the run.
I think there's a good chance the Leafs would send the runner at third, but he swings and misses, and a big strikeout for Adam Robertson. Now it's up to Dan Mara. It feels like this could be a turning point in the ball game. The Maple Leafs get a leadoff double, and now Kitchener is 1 out away from stranding him on the base path. Connor Lewis is on deck. Robertson, a first pitch strike. Adam Robertson still fresh into this ball game. He needed just 2 pitches to get the Kitchener Panthers out of the bottom of the 5th inning. Now he's throwing just 10 in this inning. Mara hits one in the air. This one's pretty deep, but playable out there in left field. Jet Jarvis makes the catch. Takamatsu stranded at third. Kitchener keeps the lead. 5-4 here at Dominico Field. We'll be right back. So the Maple Leafs welcome their new signing, Evan Elliott, to the mound. His first test is going to be the right fielder, Jet Jarvis. Evan Elliott played 3 games in the Texas Rangers system this season at rookie ball. Playing in the Arizona Complex League. And he's a 2001 born player, so still a young guy, and I mean, maybe still a prospect is Evan Elliott. We don't know a whole lot about him, but the Toronto Maple Leafs are about to learn what they got in Evan Elliott. Pitch is outside, 2-0.
And you said it best, a 2001 prospect, still very young, 22 years of age.
First pitch is hit in the air. Aiden McCaskey tracks back. Catch is made for the first out. So what we do know from the statistics on Evan Elliott is that he's a guy who throws hard. He has very good stuff. But he does walk a lot of batters. That's been the knock through his minor league career. But we also saw the same thing from Wilhelmus Alvarado, as he just threw one to the backstop. Wilhelmus Alvarado had pretty much the same rap after coming out of his professional baseball days, and he actually walked a lot of guys in his first outing, but then settled down beautifully and has become the best pitcher on the Toronto Maple Leafs this season. Evan Elliott, similar resume, trying to have a similar result as Wilhelmus Alvarado.
And right there, that pitch looked like a very good breaking ball. And Wilhelmus Alvarado, we know from the left side, he has one of the best sliders in the IBL. And it's looking like Elliott might have one of the best ones from the right side.
Evan Elliott, Canadian from Toronto, Ontario, does not take up an import spot for the Maple Leafs as that breaking ball was inside. Elliott was a 15th round draft pick in 2021 by the Texas Rangers. 2-2. Inside and it hit him. Andy Leader will head down to first base.
And it looked like he tried to go to that off-speed pitch on the inner half once again, and it just kind of, when he released it, just stayed out. There was no real snap on it to come back into the strike zone.
His pitches look like they have a lot of life from what we're seeing right here. 1 out, runner on first. Elliott's pitch, it's hit in the air. This one's pretty deep to left field. Aiden McCaskey goes back, and he makes the catch. A hard hit ball off the bat of Elliott Curtis. Or Andy Leader, I should say. 2 away.
Now batting third baseman at number 18, Drew with the Panthers.
Throw to first was pretty close. Yeah, that was Elliott Curtis. Had it right the first time. Andy Leader is over there at first base. Tough test here for Evan Elliott in Raul Gonzalez. Pitch to the backstop. Runner advances 90 feet. Andy Leader's on second base.
And you got to think, you know, his first appearance here now with the Maple Leafs in the IBL, new system, new back catcher you have to get accustomed to. So there's going to be a couple of those pitches where, you know, him and Justin Morrow aren't on the same page or they're getting a little bit crossed up. And that's Not because, they don't like one another. It's just because they're a new tandem trying to build a repertoire.
1-0 is chopped to third base and fielded in foul territory by John Salazzo.
And I don't think I've ever heard as much cheers as I just did for a ground ball foul that was gloved by the third baseman. So again, shout out to the Bushman down there.
Yeah. One and one. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
A fantastic off-speed pitch right there by Elliott.
It looks like that breaking ball breaks later than Johannes Alvarado. Maybe less, but later.
Yeah, it has that kind of deception feel where it's a vertical drop, but also a horizontal one.
1-2. Strike three. Welcome to the Inter-County Baseball League, Evan Elliott, his first strikeout in his IBL career. He gets through a scoreless frame. It's 5-4 Kitchener Panthers. The Leafs keeping it close. Connor Lewis is going to lead things off for the Maple Leafs. It's getting late, and the Leafs need a run. Adam Robertson still on the mound for Kitchener. Lewis takes the first pitch. Just off the
Looks
plate.
like the first base coach is running over there to first.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Lewis hammers it down the line. It's foul into the Maple Leafs bullpen.
So Yoichi Ichihara, not only an outfielder, a pitcher, but also a first base coach. Man of many talents down there at first base for the Maple Leafs.
Slow breaking ball from Adam Robertson. Oh, I don't think we've seen that pitch yet. Dustin Richardson in the bullpen. Is it time? Ground ball. This is going to be a tough play. It's through the hole. Connor Lewis is aboard.
And it's a big leadoff hit right there for the Maple Leafs. Get the ball rolling. And Ryan Dos Santos, if you're him, just look to try to get on base or at least advance the runner to flip that back to the top of the order.
Ryan Dos Santos struck out in his last bat. Dos Santos misplayed a ball in right field for the Maple Leafs, and it ended up getting them out of the inning. Dos Santos pops the bunt up, but it's foul behind the plate. Dos Santos, it was a ball that was a single to the outfield. The run was going to score no matter what. After Dos Santos misplayed the ball that got by him, he had a strong throw to Mara. The Kitchener Panthers sent the runner trying to go all the way from first to home, and they ended up gunning him at the plate. to get Sam Green and the Maple Leafs out of the 6th. Dos Santos bunting. He puts a beautiful one right back to the pitcher. Throw to first in time. That was a strong throw from Adam Robertson.
And really, if you're Ryan Dos Santos, that's not a bad play whatsoever. You advance the runner a big 90 feet. Connor Lewis has great speed. Now, top of the order, they need to come through. But from your number 9 hitter right there, that's exactly what you want. Executed a perfect bunt.
Job well done from Dos Santos. Here's Jose Vanicio.
How much does it cost? The one that was caps over there, baseball caps. You don't know? Sure. Maybe I'll bring lots of
Runner on second base.
Yeah, I would guess that.
Adam Robertson trying to strand him, and the pitch is up high on Vanicio. That was a breaking ball. Justin Mara's on deck. Jose Vanicio at the plate. He's 1 for 3. Vanicio hits one in the air. This one's towards the gap, and it gets down all the way to the wall. Vanicio speeding into second. Connor Lewis scores, and it's a tie. Ball game at Dominico Field. 5-5.
And how big is that extra 90 feet right there? Jose Vanicio hits one right to the wall in right center, and he is gliding into second base with ease. Connor Lewis uses speed going second to home, and I mean, right there, great baseball all around by the Maple Leafs to just generate a run to tie this game and possibly take the lead here as they have a dangerous hitter in Justin Mara stepping up to the dish.
That's Nathan Laird down there in the bullpen, loosening up. Vanicio swipes third base.
And he got a huge running lead. Phenomenal run right there by Jose Vanicio. Pitcher not even looking back. He was about 2/3 of the way down already.
Justin Mara at the plate, ahead in the count 1-0. Way outside, Jose Vanicio is dancing over there at third base. Hitters count here for Justin Mara. Vanicio swimming back into third base, but there was no throw. Chris Nagorski just asked the umpire at third base for time to let Jose Vanicio dust himself off. 3-0. Up. High, I guess that was ball 3. Check swing, did he go? No, says the umpire at third base. That was very strange on Justin Mara. That was a called strike on the last pitch, but the home plate umpire didn't make any signal. He must have said it verbally, though. That was very strange.
And with the sun setting down here at, Christie Pitts, the mosquitoes come out. And let me tell you, my arms are itching.
Sorry to hear that.
It's I thought I prepared today. I brought Reactant just in case the allergies started acting up. I didn't bring the mosquito repellent. We learned for next time.
It's not the worst thing I've seen at Dominico Field on these Wednesday night games. 1-0. Fouled off to the left by Jordan Castaldo. Last year, there were 3 skunks that made themselves very famous here at Dominico Field. And fingers crossed, we haven't seen them yet this year, but we had like 10, 15-minute delays because there were skunks running around in center field.
Like you said, fingers crossed, knock on wood, whatever you got to do to hope and pray that they don't come back.
Tell you what, if they do, the Vonacam will be all over
The
it.
Vonacam would be hands down. It'd be you need to tune in to the broadcast to see that.
Big moment here for Adam Robertson and the Kitchener Panthers. They have a double play in order. That would be huge. Jordan Castaldo, should he hit a ball on the ground, would fall into the double play category. Pitch is outside, 2-1.
And just look at the lead Jose Vinicio is getting down that third base line. Anything on the ground, if Castaldo or Mara is able to beat out a play on the ground, that run is scoring because Vinicio is by far getting about 2/3 of the way up the line.
With the lefty on the mound, he's not looking at third base. Called strike on Jordan Castaldo. Two. Hit in the air, to left and deep, and it bounces off the wall. The Toronto Maple Leafs take the lead. Jordan Castaldo towards second. The throw is rolling around on the infield. Justin Mara thinking about home, but retreats back. 2 in scoring position, and it's 6-5.
And Jordan Castaldo has been hitting the ball so hard all day long, finally gets one to drop his way. And he's the reason why the Leafs have taken that 6-5 lead. They are not going away, and it looks like we might have another pitching change here for the Kitchener Panthers.
I think it's Nathan Laird coming into the game for Kitchener, as we'll take a quick break. Nathan Laird into the game for the Kitchener Panthers, and he has to face Garrett Takamatsu. Kitchener going righty v righty. Takamatsu hammers one on the ground and it gets through. One run comes in to score. They're going to hold up Jordan Castaldo at third. And it's now 7-5. Garrett Takamatsu wasted no time smashing that ball through the infield.
And have a day, Garrett Takamatsu. Mic'd up in BP, 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs on the day here. Having himself one heck of a day at the dish.
Garrett Takamatsu has been a massive addition to the Toronto Maple Leafs. J.J. Dutton is going to come in and pinch hit for Aiden McCaskey as the pitch is up and in. Oh, for John Salazzo, excuse me.
Yeah, I believe John had to go
what
be a
tipped
conductor.
you off, Aiden McCaskey on deck? Yeah, John Salazzo went to work.
Yeah, had to go be a conductor.
So the hole at third base will probably not be filled by J.J. Dutton. We'll probably see some kind of switching around. Aiden McCaskey might actually come in and play third base, and J.J. Dutton will move out to left or maybe center. Pitch is in there for a strike. J.J. Dutton behind 0-2. What a moment to come in and pinch hit. Maple Leafs trying to extend the lead. Dutton chops one on the ground. This might be enough. And the tag is not applied at first. Dutton is safe. A run comes in to score, and it's 8-5.
And J.J. Dutton, so much speed up that baseline. I mean, what can you say? He started off the year super hot. And then right now, that's just huge. You know, using your speed, utilizing it, beating out a ground ball to the first baseman. Great running right there by J.J. Dutton.
So now it's Aiden McCaskey. Dustin Richardson ready to go for the 8th. McCaskey takes a strike.
McCaskey 1 for 2. Went down swinging his last time up. And just think about it. This inning all started with the Connor Lewis single, a sac bunt that advanced him, and then the offense just rolled ever since.
Nathan Laird trying to limit the damage. McCaskey swings and misses. McCaskey with 2 on and 1 out. Pitch is up and away. I thought he said box. One, just inside.
And you can kind of hear the Kitchener Panthers bench right there. Not agreeing with that call. Getting a little bit jeery.
McCaskey chops it foul.
And if you thought just because it's getting into the later hours of the day that it would be quiet here at Dominico Park, it's not. The Bushmen are louder than ever right there now down the left field line.
Aiden McCaskey has 2 strikes on him, but he's putting up a battle in this at-bat against Nathan Laird. And he swings and misses for strike 3. Dan Mara comes to the dish.
Second baseman, number 6, Dan Morrow.
J.J. Dutton at first base. Garrett Takamatsu's at second. Both have good speed. Dutton would win the race. Pitches in there for a strike. If Mara could find a gap, Dutton would try and score. Takamatsu can also come home on a single. Mara takes well outside. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Dan Mara, he's put up some really good at-bats today. He's flown out twice and he walked once. Hasn't recorded a hit, but like I said, put up some phenomenal at-bats. Working counts into his favor. Putting the ball in play. Just hasn't been able to land.
He takes in the dirt, and that's a great block by Junior Ibarra. The last thing the Kitchener Panthers would want is to give the Maple Leafs 2 servings of 90 feet. And it's flied in the air to right. And the catch is made by Jet Jarvis. But the Maple Leafs respond with 4 runs in the 7th. They lead 8-5. Don't go anywhere because Dustin Richardson returns to the Intercounty Baseball League next. This is Dustin Richardson into the game for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He faces Eric Martin. And the first pitch is swung on and missed. Dustin Richardson, known as the Undertaker here at Dominico Field, comes into his theme song whenever he pitches, and that has always been the signal of good news for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And if he's able to continue to have success like you've stated that he's had as a Maple Leaf, it's a scary back end of the bullpen that this Toronto team has formed.
Swinging a little tapper back to the mound, but Richardson, it went off the leg of Eric Martin. That looked like a nasty pitch in on the hands from Richardson. He's ahead in the count 0-2. Richardson throws a ton of strikes. He almost never walks anyone. He struck out 101 batters in his IBL career in 57 2/3 innings. That's nearly 2 strikeouts every inning. Richardson is healthy and back on the mound for the Maple Leafs. 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Dustin Richardson is back, and he's recorded a strikeout.
Welcome back to the Maple Leafs, Richardson. Blowing that fastball right by. And also just a couple defensive changes. So McCaskey, he'll slide over to first base. Jordan Castaldo will go over to third. And then J.J. Dutton stays in the game, and he remains in left field. And that is all the defensive changes so far for the Maple Leafs.
Dustin Richardson actually has 110 strikeouts in 57 innings pitched. So that was now 111 strikeouts in the IBL career of Dustin Richardson, and he's only been here for 3 short years. Swing and a miss. Richardson hasn't thrown a ball yet. 1 ball, just 1. Got him.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Coming into the game, back-to-back strikeouts. Wow.
6 pitches, 1 ball, 2 strikeouts. Tyler Henriquez, the next victim of Dustin Richardson. Squaring to bunt, he lays down a beautiful one. Nothing that Aiden McCaskey can do. That is the way to do it there against Dustin Richardson. That was a perfect bunt.
Yeah, Jordan Castaldo over there at third base could not do anything about that. Executed perfectly. And maybe a little bit of life. You know, Kitchener trying not to fall too far out of this one. They want to win this game because if they do, like we stated earlier on, they can move closer to the Welland Jackfish for that first place spot in the IBL.
When I was talking about that game when Dustin Richardson came in and pitched 7 innings of relief in 2021 against the London Majors in that big Game 4 of the IBL Finals, he gave up 5 hits in those 7 innings. 2 of them were bunt singles. 1-0. Outside ball 2. Junior Ibarra is at the plate. Strike 1, 2-1. In those 52 2/3 innings pitched by Dustin Richardson, he's walked 15 batters. In 2021, he didn't walk anybody. Not in the playoffs, not in the regular season. Now he's fallen behind 3-1. Ibarra flares one down the right field line, but it's foul and out of play. Full count. Three-two. Just low, ball 4. Junior Ibarra heads to first base, and now the Kitchener Panthers will bring the tying run to the plate. First pitch, a strike to Jet Jarvis. Oh and 1. 2 runners on. Richardson has struck out 2 in the inning. This one's hit on the ground. Aiden McCaskey makes the play and steps on third. Not a bad pick for your first action of the game. 8-5 Maple Leafs. Dustin Richardson is rolling on the mound. Nathan Laird back on the mound for the Kitchener Panthers. He'll face Connor Lewis. The Maple Leafs looking for some insurance runs before they turn things over in the 9th inning. Not sure who it's going to be into the game. There's a ton of action in the Maple Leafs bullpen. Dustin Richardson only needed 16 pitches, although he did allow 2 base runners. First pitch is inside to Connor Lewis. It's Adam Mara on the mound. One out. Popped straight back and foul.
Almost right into the press box.
Yeah, right off the facing of the press box.
Still find it funny, you know, at the start of the year you told me you never had a foul ball come over here. And then what, we saw 2 in the first couple games, almost hit here?
Yeah, it seems pretty likely that one would come up here, but Nathan Laird is only throwing 17 pitches so far. Went through 2/3 of an inning to get out of the 7th. And he delivers one in the dirt, 2-1.
And just like we started off the 7th inning, we start the 8th the exact same way. Connor Lewis. He was the one that got the offense rolling for the Leafs last inning. He looked to do so again right here.
He scored 2 of the Maple Leafs' 8 runs. Up and away, 3-1. Ryan Dos Santos laid down a beautiful bunt to advance Connor Lewis last inning. He'll likely be asked to swing the bat here and his next at bat. Lewis flares it towards the right side and well out of play. Connor Lewis has that batting average up to 375 on the season. He's had a great start since returning to the Maple Leafs. Full count pitch from Nathan Laird. He's battled right back in the count. And it's fouled back.
So far, Connor Lewis putting up a really good at-bat right here. Just trying to get the ball rolling here for the Maple Leafs.
Lewis fouls it off to the right this time. The Kitchener Panthers have a 5-game win streak on the line, and with a win trying to move level for second place in the Intercounty Baseball League, but they are trailing by 3 here against Toronto. Breaking ball in the dirt. Lewis down to first base, and he leads off the inning for the second time in a row. And he's on first base. Ryan Dos Santos. Jose Vinicio on deck. The Kitchener Panthers own the best run differential in the Intercounty Baseball League at plus 73. So there's no question that their offense can bring them back into this ball game in the 9th. The Maple Leafs looking for insurance.
It appears, down in the Maple Leafs bullpen, all the pitchers just all looking on to see if this offense can continue to string the runs together and add that insurance, like you said.
At this point, they're all ready to go. They've all been
They've all thrown.
Way up and in on Dos Santos. It's just an army of them out there.
Hey, and we know the first base coach, Yoichi Ishihara, is ready as well. He was thrown down there earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder who's gonna appear in the game.
Who has the bat?
There's a bat down there?
Yeah. 1-1. Fouled back again. Ryan Dos Santos has had 2 really good cuts.
They're ready for any and every scenario.
Oh, that's Dawson Parks. Okay, that's all right. He can have a bat. Don't know why you'd need one, though.
You got to be ready for every scenario down there in the bullpen.
1-2 on Dos Santos. In the dirt. Connor Lewis holds his ground. Another good block by Junior Ibarra. Dos Santos pops it straight back towards the broadcast booth.
As we were talking about it, too.
Well, he's fouled 3 balls in this at-bat straight back. This one's crushed deep to center field, and it's gone! Ryan Dos Santos, a 2-run homer. The Leafs lead 10-5.
And just like that, wow! He was fouling off some tough pitches, and he finally gets the break. Smokes it to the deepest part of the park in right center field. 2-run shot for Ryan Dos Santos.
You could tell that that was coming. He had some really good cuts. And that is Dos Santos' second home run in his IBL career. How about that? Benicio takes a first pitch strike.
And I'm sure there's a little bit of a weight lifted off of his shoulders now after hitting that one.
I didn't know he had pop like that. That was hammered. 0-1. Benicio fouls it back. Benicio behind 0-2. Takes up high, ball one.
Now we're fortunate enough we still have that foul ball that landed up by our tent. Thomas, what was your pitches when you were in your playing days?
Fastball.
Fastball only? Nothing else?
A fastball and a slow ball. No, I'm just kidding. I spun a curveball, but it wasn't very good. It was fastball changeup mostly.
That was my mix as well.
I held
the circle change?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
There
exactly
was
what
the
I
circle
threw.
change grip, and it had a little bit of arm side run, and it was probably my most effective pitch.
And you see right here, we have the
There you
the
go.
grip right there. This is an inside the broadcast booth shot right here.
There's
Love
the
to
circle
see
change
it. That's
grip.
the circle change grip. Shout out to the cam right there. Oh my. See, I always did mine on the horseshoe.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, horseshoe, and I had the same
That
running
probably
action.
would have helped me to get that arm side run now that I think of it. Now that I think of it, though, that's actually how I held it as well. I was kind of put on the spot there. I don't know if you noticed, but the page on my computer that I had up too was Ryan Dos Santos' home run totals in his IPL career too. 1-1. Nathan Laird trying to get out of this inning. This one's popped up by Justin Mara. It's in play. And catchable. Blake Jacklin makes the play.
Third baseman, number 5, Jordan Castaldo.
Jordan Castaldo at the plate, cracked an RBI double to left in his last at-bat. Two outs and nobody on. Nathan Laird is pitch down count is starting to climb, but he's been pounding the strike zone. 23 strikes, 14 balls. 37 pitches thus far. Sharp fastball, but it was just outside.
And I'm still looking down to the Maple Leafs bullpen, trying to figure out who's going to come into the game. I feel like it's going to be Adam Mara.
Could also be Dustin Richardson.
Could also be Dustin Richardson come out for a second inning of work.
I think it's the betting favorites are Adam Mara at this point. 2-0, and that one's in there for a strike. Nathan Laird has.
If we went to the Vegas betting odds, it would be at a -110 right now for Mara coming into the game.
Is that what it? Yeah. I think that's pretty fair. 2 earned runs, 3 hits for Nathan Laird. This one's hammered deep to left field. Jordan Castaldo has left the yard.
And I've been saying it, Castaldo seemed like he was just getting so unlucky in some of his at-bats. He's been hitting the ball hard all day long. Finally, he gets the granted gift of the opposite field home run.
Exactly where he put the ball in his last at-bat, but this one he hit a little harder. 11-5 Toronto Maple Leafs. That's the score they won by over the London Majors on Sunday. Unfortunate for Nathan Laird with the 2-out run given up. He's now allowed 3 earned runs here. He has a string of 2 consecutive outings where he's given up 4 earned runs. One against the Hamilton Cardinals where he gave up 4 runs over 1 inning. The last one in a 18-10 win over Brantford where he gave up 4 over 2 innings. Other than that, he's been pretty good this season. It's just his last 3 outings have really hurt the ERA. Takamatsu behind in the count 0-2. He has tremendous power as well. Nathan Laird just stepped off the mound, and the Bushmen think that they might have been the reason for that.
They've been a very rowdy bunch tonight.
2-0 is swung on and missed. So Laird gets out of the inning, but not before the Maple Leafs open things up to a rather comfortable 6-run lead. They get 4 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, and lead 11-5. Joined now by Justin. Adam Mara into the game for the Maple Leafs, trying to clean things up here in the top of the ninth. 11-5, they lead over the Panthers. Mara's task here to come in, throw strikes, and try and induce some contact. First pitch is hit on the ground, and it bounces through, just out of the outstretched mitt of Dan Mara. Adam Mara's done a lot more than just eat innings for the Toronto Maple Leafs in his last 6 outings. He's only allowed 3 runs, all of them earned. He's had 2 scoreless outings in a row where he was tasked with coming in and just facing 1 batter. That was against Barrie and against Guelph, but he's been getting the job done for the Maple Leafs when called upon. Also has a save this year. That came in Game 1 of the season against the London Majors.
He's put himself into a decent year so far. Coming in when needed to, closing out some of the tough games for the Leafs.
Statistically, it'll be hard to beat the season that he started with the Toronto Maple Leafs in 2018, pitched 18 2/3 innings to a sparkling 3.82 ERA. This one's crushed to right field, and it is gone. A 2-run home run for Andy Leader, and the gap is shortened to just 4. Hold on. Someone was yelling ground rule double there, but Andy Leader, that ball clearly went over the fence. Not sure what the confusion was. The umpire, though, did signal for the home run.
They were trying to preserve the run.
Yeah. Elliott Curtis at the plate. Lots of power. Kitchener Panthers have brought it to within 4. They're looking for base runners. Still nobody out. Mara coming to this outing pitching to a 5.83 ERA over 12 1/3 for the Maple Leafs. Curtis fouls it off to the left. Adam Mara has worked himself into a 2-strike count. The pitch hit in the air towards foul territory on the left, and it's just out of play. And that one went right off the top of the head of a fan down the left field line.
Yeah, hopefully she'll be okay. Looks like the trainer for the Maple Leafs is going to take a look.
Wrong place, wrong time. 1-2. Outside, breaking ball that time from Adam Mara. Working quickly, 2-2, outside again, same pitch, 3-2. This one's lined but foul down the left field line. Shallow fly ball to left, catch is made. J.J. Dutton getting his first bit of action out there in left field. Raul Gonzalez fouls the first pitch he sees off to the right. Raul Gonzalez is 1 for 4, and if he doesn't get a hit in this at-bat, his batting average will drop below 400 on the season. 0-1 is well outside. Leafs have 1 out in the top of the 9th. Panthers down to their final 2 outs. 2-strike count now on Raul Gonzalez. Eric Martin is on deck.
With a win tonight, the Maple Leafs will be, I believe, half a game back of the Hamilton Cardinals for 4th place in the league. as they try to itch ever closer to the Welland Jackfish, who are sitting up there 15-6 after the win tonight.
1-2 to first. McCaskey fields. Flips to Mara. 2 away. Maple Leafs have their sights set higher than that. Talked to Jesse Hodges after Sunday's win, and a game that Jesse Hodges pitched, and he said if the Toronto Maple Leafs pitching and offense can click at the same time, there's no doubt that the Toronto Maple Leafs will be able to take first place in the Intercounty Baseball League. Hodges said it's just too good a team.
Yeah, it's a very deep team, and with the additions that they've made to the pitching staff, it looks like a team that can be very, very scary come playoff time. Dustin Richardson and really even Elliott, appeared today. He looked really, really good.
Swing and a miss.
And then you obviously know the big dangerous man from the left side, Mr. Wilgenis Alvarado, who did not throw tonight. He still looms over there in that bullpen as well.
Strike 3 called. The Leafs have won 2 in a row. They win 11-7 over the Kitchener Panthers here on Wednesday night. So the Maple Leafs creeping up in the Intercounty Baseball League standings. They've moved on from the 4-game losing streak.
They advance now. They are 12-9 on the year. And like I said, they sit half a game back of the Hamilton Cardinals for 4th place in the league. And just an all-around, what a game for the Maple Leafs. The offense showing why they are one of, if not the best in the IBL. And then the pitching, Sam Green, looked phenomenal for 5 2/3. And then the pitching that came in after him, they shut the door, and the Maple Leafs roll for a victory here, ending the Kitchener Panthers 5-game win streak.
Well, Jesse Hodges, the Maple Leafs offense and pitching clicked at the same time tonight, and the Leafs won. And they're looking for more of that as the season goes on. This is a quick turnaround for the Maple Leafs. They have the Kitchener Panthers tomorrow night in Kitchener for this 2-game series. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Maple Leafs have another big arm rolling out against the Kitchener Panthers in that one. Appreciate everyone tuning in here